Hello and welcome. This is Ruth, and today I've got kit number 80 from Tonic Studios to share with you. It's really beautiful. It's obviously the 20th of the month, and I know lots of you wait for that day. So without further ado, we'll just open the box and have a look inside. This one is called Just the Way You Are. It's a little play on words on the way there, and you can see here from the little flyer inside that it has the most cute little set of kitchen scales. I think it's kitchen scales. And you can put little pieces of fruit and whatnot inside. It actually looks really beautiful, but it also looks really simple. It doesn't look too difficult to make up. These are the dies and these are the papers, and then we've got a lovely bag of things in there as well. So if you don't want to miss any of these, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and you'll see them all as they come up. And you can let me know if you enjoy them, and you can leave me a little comment and give me a big thumbs up. All of that and my affiliate links to everything that I use will be down below in the description of the video as well. Anyhow, here we are. I've just put my little sticker, because you'll get one of those as well. Just put it on the front of my little folder, and you can see the dies in here. I've just taken them out of the little packaging, the little bags, and that looks really lovely. We've got some fruit, so there's strawberry and lemon or orange, a half slice, a sort of angled one, and then a full top down one, and some leaves, foliage, and then this is the little basket for the top. I'll have a little look on here. This is the sides of the basket, obviously, and then we've got all these pieces here for making up the base of the thing. And most importantly, you've got a little cutting list here and the instructions. But follow along here anyway, and you'll be able to see how to do it. You're definitely going to be able to use this in lots of other ways as well, because that fruit would look absolutely fantastic on lots of cards and different things that you might have. And I'm looking here, and this little basket doesn't necessarily have to be used for just putting on top of those scales, so you could use that for lots of things as well. Even a little Easter basket with a little bunny and eggs and things inside it. Just go wild. You've got lots of things already, I'm sure. You could fill it with flowers, you could fill it with biscuits. In fact, the last kit was called Sweet Treats or something along that line, and it had beautiful biscuits and chocolates. You could put those in there as well. So think outside the box and get a bit of extra mileage out of your kit. Now, we've got stamps as well here, and I do love a good stamp of some citrus fruit. That's beautiful, really lovely. So you've got your lemon and your orange, or whatever way you like to colour them. You're my main squeeze. Oh, you're the very best. Have a sweet day, and you're the zest. So lots of punny little things in there as well. Now, what next? Yeah, we'll just have a look at what colours we've got in it. So this is the wallet that you'll get your card in, and you can see here that we've got some beautiful, a really lovely colour palette this time. I have got it on a list here, so I'm just going to show you the colours briefly, and then we will, there's two of each of these blues as well, see. So what have we got? Peer View, that's this sort of navy, and we've got two sheets of that. That's classic card. We have got two sheets of this is cornflower blue. We have got some glitter card here, and that is sugar coral. Really gorgeous. Look at the way the light catches that. That would be beautiful on some citrus fruit. Then we have let me find that, grass green, mustard yellow, champagne. Then we've got these other colours here that all work in together. Now I'm just noticing there's a slight difference in size here. So obviously Tonic may still be having a little issue with their cardstock. So some of them will be the actual A4, and some then are the USA size. So they're slightly shorter but wider, and you'll get as much card, but fantastic looking colours to use all together there. And I always keep them in this folder while I'm working with them, and then afterwards, because you know you can actually refill up on all of those colours, I usually just slip them into their little folders where I keep all the colours when I've finished. Now, inside this little bag, we've got lots of lovely things. Double-sided tape. I love that tape. I use that a lot. I'm sure you've seen me using it. And these are reverse tweezers, so I actually just take them out and show you. They're called fine tip craft tweezers. I would normally call those reverse tweezers, but they're very pointy, so they do have a little protector on the end there. And then what will we do? We just lift this. So they're closed. when they're like that. When you press, they open, and then when you close again, and you can just lift things with them. And they're actually pretty good for holding things together as you're gluing it as well. So just imagine you put glue on the corner there and you wanted to hold that together. You could just leave that aside for a moment or two, and that will be good to go whenever you're ready. So those are really, really good. We've got some Morning Dew crystal drops, and I absolutely love these things. They're fantastic with citrus fruits, and I'm going to show you a lovely way to use those. I'm sure you've done it before, and I'm sure you've seen me do it before, but I'll just refresh your memory anyway, and hopefully you'll enjoy that. We've also got some Ruby Slippers glitter drops, and those are absolutely gorgeous. I keep saying that, but all of this stuff is really, really beautiful. Now there's alcohol markers as well. So we've got bright sunflower, lemon drops, fresh watermelon, Persian lime, and spiced orange. So I'm going to do some die cutting, and then we'll do some colouring and sticking together, and I think you're going to really, really love this. Sorry for the background noise, but it's a really, really warm day. I've just opened the window, and of course that was the cue for my neighbour to start cutting his grass. Oh well, it's got to be done. I cut mine yesterday. I've got lots and lots of prep done now, so you can see I've cut 4 of these out, and on one of them I have cut a little opening into the back of it. So the actual shape itself is cut with this die, and then I have set this one just right in there on one of them and die cut that through, and that gives a little score line on here. I'm actually not going to bend that back at the moment because I want to keep it sort of newish looking, and then that will be the little opening where you can put a little gift in there or whatever. So I was going to decorate the front one of these, and I have taken this die, obviously was the front piece, and then I've taken this panel and this one together, and I've cut that out in the cornflower blue, and I'm going to glue that on there. Then I have taken both of these together, so you could actually cut one out in a different colour and then cut these little holes into it in another colour again, and I'm going to glue that directly on there. And then I've taken this little die here, and I have cut that out in some of the glitter card. There it is, and that's going to be the little pointer piece that goes on down here. So I'm going to glue all of those together and glue this on here, and then I'll be able to assemble the little box at the end. I've layered all of that together then and put this little pointer piece on, and then I've glued the 4 panels together here. So just remember that you've got the front one, side one, back one, and then the other side. And then I've got this panel here which is going to go inside the base of that. So I'm just going to put some glue right along this glue tab here, and then I will pop that down just like this. Now let us see if you can see that okay. I think you should be able to see it there. I'll lift it up and show you anyway. So what we want is this edge right along just above where that decorative part is, just like that, and then fold that down. Just press that down and make sure it's in the right place just above that there, because you don't want that peeping down at the bottom. You just want that little area there. Can you see it? Just there. And then we'll put glue on this one and bring this around and just make sure that that piece is just below there. And if you can't see it there, I will lift it up at the end and show you completely. But the base panel is going to go in here, and then when you get to the end, you'll be able to glue this side panel down in there as well. But I think it's easier just to pop this in before you add that last piece on to the edge there, before you join the whole 4 of them together. It just makes it easier to get this lined up. It's very easy anyway, but it just makes it a little bit quicker. Now you can take this square die cut and just pop it in here, and I've got double-sided tape on there because it just makes it easier to put this on. But you slide that in there. I'll just move these back. little basket part that goes in the top then, I have cut this die out 4 times in the cornflower blue, and then I have used these two together in the navy card, and I'm going to glue these all on top of these ones and then join those together and add the little base on. So the little base is made with this one this time, and I've cut that out in navy as well, and you can see that that just goes on the same way as we did for this one. And don't worry about that tape showing there, because that's going to get covered up in a minute or two. I'm just going to glue all of these on first of all. I've cut these out as I showed you and glued these pieces on, and they did actually have little glue tabs on both sides, but I've cut them off on one side because it just seemed to me like they were supposed to go together this way. So I'm going to glue them together by the side panels the way I did with the last one as well there. Now you can take this little piece and just burnish all those little score lines really well and glue the side tab together so that it forms one little sort of rounded part. It's a little sort of square with glue tabs at each side of it, and there you are. You put your finger in there and just hold that in, and then you can go ahead then with 2 more squares which are the same size as this. So one's going to really go on there and the other go on there. But what we're going to do first of all is just glue this onto the center of one there, and then sort of sandwich it between 2 and then pop those right in between these 2. So I'm going to add glue right along this edge, and it just holds that little scale basket or weighing part up off the actual scales itself and just makes it a bit more realistic looking. So that gets on there, and I can just check that it's more or less centered. There you are. And then glue on here. And this one goes on top. And now you can glue this base on here and this one onto here, and you can see the way it sits after that then. So I'm going to take out one of my other glues just with the larger nozzle on it, because I need a bit more coming out at one time. You can see there then that I actually just paper pasted a little piece of the glitter card back in there again. I just set a piece of card in behind the die, ran it through and took that little piece out, and it looks like a lovely little heart on there. Well, now I know why this had 2 glue tabs, because to make the little basket up you can cut one off and join those all together, but if you want to add some elements in here you can do this again and pop that in there and then pop another one in here, and that means that when you come to add your fruit you can glue it onto these panels as well, and that sort of gives you that 3D layered effect. So I hadn't spotted that at first, but it is a really clever, neat little way to do that. They will just pop in there, and you'll need to cut 2 of them, glue along here, here and here, put one here and one in here, and off you go. Now there's another little way of doing this as well. I cut out another base here just to see what that would look like as well, and you could burnish all the glue tabs along like this and glue the back one on here, and then that would make a little lid here. I'll put it down this way, I think you can see it better. A little lid there which would then open and close, and that would all just pop inside there to keep that nice and neat. And then you could go ahead and add whatever you want layered onto the top of it. So that would be sitting sort of flat like that with something layered on top and piled up. I would suggest that would be more if you're doing flowers or something like that, but you could put them on top. And also that meant then that you would have a little gift box in here, and you'd also have one in there. I might do that in another one, but I might actually do that for a little basket as well. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these in because that is really, really neat, and I don't know why I didn't spot that. Actually, I do. My kit was late coming and I rushed straight in. There it is, all ready to put the fruit inside. So look at that beautiful strawberry. Isn't that lovely and glittery and red? Now, there's no red card in there, but to get that beautiful red glittery effect, I've taken this sugared coral card. I've cut these two dies out together, and that has given me this shape. And then you can go ahead with the fresh watermelon alcohol marker and take the broad nib of it and just colour that all in like that. It only takes a couple of minutes, not even that actually. And there you are. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? And there you have a really glittery strawberry. And you can go ahead then and glue the little leaf section onto the top of it. I've gone ahead then and I've glued some of these little strawberries in here. So this one onto the front there and then some in behind. And I've got some others that I can add in at the end. I've put a little yellow piece on at the back, just with that same outline die there. And just looking at it here, I suppose I really should have put that on in red. But anyhow, for the moment, I just want to show you how I've made lots and lots of these little pieces up here. So I have cut out the main shape here of the little lemon or lime, and I've added a little bit of shading. That's with the grass green card, and I've just added some shading with the bright sunflower alcohol marker to that one. And then on these I've cut out the circle. So say let's start with the lime. I've cut out the circle, and then you can see here that I've cut this other die out in some ivory card. Now that wasn't in the kit, but I've used it anyway, so because I wanted to add it into the center here. Now I'm going to glue this directly on top of this. Just flip that over and set it down there. Now I'll be able to push those bits and pieces through with my pokey tool. And then I could just paper piece the little pieces in that didn't quite make it. There's always a couple of bits that don't just go straight in. So in that goes there and here. And then after that I'm going to do some colouring on this with the alcohol marker and then add on the morning dew crystal drops. So I'm just popping that in there, and now I've got my little green marker again, and I'm going for the fine point this time. If you have a little look at that, you can see the sort of rippled effect. It's layered onto the top there with the morning dew crystal drops. So what I've done is I've taken the little crystal drop bottle and I've put some right into the center here. Now you want to press this very, very gently and move it sort of to make it stringy. You don't want big blobs, so just one or two in each little section there like that. And then just leave that to dry. It doesn't take very long because you actually haven't put too much on, and it's quite thin as well. So that's how that should look. And then you can leave that aside. And I've got one here. Yeah, this one. This is a little lemon slice that I've already done that on, and these pieces have already dried. And now I want to add some more so that it looks just more like a little lemon or a little lime. And these are getting put on top, overlapping in areas and whatnot, and we're sort of radiating from the center outwards. And you want to give that kind of just that effect that you'd get if you opened a little orange or lemon or a lime or whatever. And I think this looks really, really lovely. Just set aside all the pieces that you've got one layer on, and then just add another little stringy effect on the top. And leave them all to dry. And hopefully you can see that. Anyway, you'll see it all whenever it's dried at the end. There's another one that's ready there. So you're aiming for not a smooth sort of finish. You're aiming for that bumpy look that you'll get off a real citrus fruit. And then when you've done that, you can go ahead and glue these onto the rest of this as well. But don't forget just to leave them to dry first of all. I layered lots and lots of those up, and you can see there that some of them have been added on 3D foam pads just to give that extra bit of dimension, and it looks really, really beautiful. I added the little flower and some leaves on there, and some of the glitter drops into the centre, and another little flower there. All I've got to do now is put a little piece of ribbon through there, and that's that one finished. So I now went ahead then and I made the same little basket that I've used for the top part here, and I've made that in the peachy coloured, I think that's apricot, I need to check the colour. And then I have added some of the glitter card on top of that, and I made a little loop of glitter card here, and I backed that with the same card that I made the little basket from, just on the inside, and curved it so that it went the whole way around there, and glued that down in here and here. And then I've added a little strawberry and a little lemon slice there with a little flower. Oops, I forgot to add the crystal drop, the glitter drop in there. So I'll just do that now. Put that in the centre. And there's another pretty little basket. Now I thought I would make another one, and this time I've got 4 sides cut out, and instead of having this as the base this time, I'm going to turn it up and have it as a little basket this way. So I have got my glue again here, and I'm just gluing these panels. Now this time, instead of attaching this from the underside with the tape, I'm actually just going to glue this on here, and that will form the little base, and then I'll come back and add another layer over the top just to strengthen it at the bottom and to cover the glue tabs on the outside as well. But there's how I'm just attaching that the whole way around there. So I can set it down in, hold it over, and press that right onto the glue there. And I'll follow the whole way around here doing that, and then attach this side piece at the same time. After I glued the little base onto that, then I went back to the decorative panel that I had put on the little scales, and I put that part on, but obviously this was the part where the little measurements would have been, and because it's the other way up and I didn't want measurements on it anyway, I put the 2 little leaves on here, and then the bigger die here is actually the one that cuts out the stamped flower, and then I put these other ones in here. And I was going to paper paste this little heart and these areas here, but I used the glitter drops instead, and I think it turned out really, really well. Now, I've actually left that overnight because it was getting late last night, and I just thought I would stop, and it has sort of leveled down. You need to put quite a wee bit on there to sort of allow for the drops to sink down in a bit, and then when they've dried out really, really lovely. And that's my little, well, little container of some sort. Now, I was going to leave it like that, but then I had a look to see what kind of little die I could use to make feet on it. So I remembered this one, and that's obviously the little piece that I have used for in here. Let me move that over. So that's the piece that is inside there in between these 2 areas. And I have cut it out 4 times and glued it together just round like this. So you need to burnish all the little score lines, and then you need to glue the tab together, and you'll get 4 of these. And then I cut out little squares, so they're just slightly over 2 centimeters square, and that has made me a little foot for there. And I'm going to glue 1 onto each corner here, and I think that should be really nice. It's just a little different way of using the dies. think I'll make a card now, and I'm going to use those little stamps and stamp some images out and colour them in with the alcohol markers. I've got all of these coloured then, and this time I'm not going to put any morning dew crystal drops or anything on. I just want to show you the difference. So you could do either, you could add those on if you like. And I've cut them out with all the corresponding dies from the set as well. And then I've gone back to this little die. It's the one with the little glue tabs on the two sides and the bottom. And I've made this, so it's actually a little pocket, and you could put something in there if you want. And you could actually use that as a pocket for a memory book as well, so don't forget that little idea, and some of the others as well. Even this square one here, you could just cut one of the tabs off and use cut the top one off and use the other parts as a pocket. That would be really, really nice. So I am going to glue this on here, and then I'm going to leave it as a pocket because you could still slip something in, but I'm going to add all of these things in here, some of them probably on 3D foam pads. I always use my tweezers for that. And then I'll come back, and just because I have them here, I might add in a little strawberry or some of the little die cut leaves as well. But I'll put this on first, and then just layer these up in just whatever way I think looks best on the card. Well, there they are, all layered up, and as you can see there, there's still room to put something down in here. So isn't that really, really bright and colourful? I've only added these ones obviously then on 3D foam pads because that meant you couldn't put something down in there if I had have done that. I hadn't thought that out when I was talking at the start of the video. I have cut the little piece, actually there's a die there, so I've put one inside the other and then taped them together and run that through the die cutting machine. It's a very, very subtle effect to get that sentiment on there, and it actually says have the best day, and there are a couple in there, but you can just about make it out. It would have been really nice if I had have done that on mirror card or something, but I wanted to use the card that's just in the kit, so I didn't do that. I've just used this green card, and you can probably see there I ran the green pen, this one, just the broad nib across the letters before I popped it through the die cutting machine, and it makes it stand out just a little more. So there you are. Isn't that lovely? I've actually got some little die cuts and bits and pieces left, but I always put those into a little packet, And then sometime whenever I'm making a card and I need little bits of foliage and bits and pieces like that, I lift that one out and that's what I'll use, and it'll save me cutting anything else, and I can make a card rather quickly in that way. So there you are, that's me finished. I'm not going to make anything else, but there's lots of different ways you could use that. As I showed you earlier on, here's the first little project I made with it. If you are liking it as you go along, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification bell. I would really love you to do that. Now, isn't that really, really beautiful? But there's also room down in there. I just tried this out earlier. There is room to put some other little bits and pieces, little sweeties or whatever, little treats that you want in between those areas as well there. And then you've got this. There will be lots and lots of photos at the end as well. So I have threaded some ribbon, just a loop through that, and tied the back up just like that. And as I said, I haven't gone ahead and coloured the backs of these in, but you could definitely do that as well. Just pop another die cut over the back and that would keep those all nice and neat for you as well. So that's that one. Then this little basket, which I've also put little treats in. And that's, whoops, they're going to fall out when I hold it up there, but that's a pretty little basket there as well. And then this one, and the feet are all nicely dried on that, and it sits up lovely as well. Whoops, they're going to fall out every time I lay them up. I just wanted to get something sort of fruity that's tied in with this. So while I was out this morning, I just grabbed a packet of sweets. And there's the card. I would really love it if you would leave me a little comment down below and let me know which one of these you like best. And if you like this little idea of the way I've put the morning dew crystal drops on, I might actually add just a dot or two here, but I'm not going to do the same thing as I did there. And do you like this, or would you prefer paper piecing? And do you like using alcohol markers like that to just leave a little bit of shading? Just keep moving it around in circles and blend the colours together. If you start off with the lightest one, go to darker, and then colour the whole lot over again with the lighter pen. It blends it all together. And a little tip, which I did off camera, actually I should have shown you. If you have gone over the line in some places and you've got a little bit of alcohol marker on something that you don't want, go ahead and grab a blender pen. Now, it's not in the kit, but you can buy a blender pen. And it actually, I always think that's a misnomer because it doesn't actually blend, but it does kind of bleach. So if you've got something that's over the line and you don't want it there, you can remove it with either the pointy end, the bullet tip, or the chisel tip of the blender pen. So that's another little tip. And I would really love to know what you would make with this kit, and if you're looking forward to getting it as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye bye.